It's the Winemakers on Sporting News, presented by Jack Daniels. Hey everybody, the Winemakers on Sporting News. Brian Blessing with Rick Herron and Richie Becciolari. Tennessee is at Minnesota. This is a game in faraway places, open 6.5. We're looking at Minnesota now, a 5.5 point favorite. The total on the game is 44. And the difference, Ricky, here is Minnesota gets a nice win over the Lions, but you still have the young quarterback, and all of a sudden, based off a win last week, they're asking them to go out and cover a pretty good-sized number. It's a different animal.
Well, the Vikings are 3-1. They only won 3 games last year, okay? And there is a stat out there that I told you about before. Teams that lost by double digits the week before, which the Titans lost 38-14, the following week they're 15-3-2 against the spread. And this just has to be a spot for the Titans, Brian. The Vikings beat the 49ers, and then they came back and went on the road to Detroit and won a division game. I just got to be a spot for the Titans, as bad as they've been and giving up 34 a game minimum in all 4 games.
Vikings regular season wins before the start of the season was 6 under the favorite. They weren't expected to win a lot of games. Here they are sitting at 3-1, and now they're a 6.5 point favorite, opening it down to 5.5. This is a lot like the spot last week when the Dolphins travel into Arizona and they're getting 6.5. Game got as low as 4, I think, before some favorite money started showing up. But the dog got the money, and this is a very similar spot.
Tennessee is 3-1 to the over. Minnesota's 1-3 to the under. And you're looking at a Tennessee team, Richie, that only is producing 68 yards rushing a game. But last week, Chris Johnson went nuts.
Oh, yeah, like 150 yards. But the Titans, and here's why they're playing overs, they've given up 151 points this year. So when you're giving up that many points, and right now this Peterson for Minnesota, he's on fire. He's running the ball like crazy. Pond is keeping the ship straight. And as long as they're giving up, 35, 40 points a game, they're going to go over.
And this is a Viking team that's very, very physical. They're a tough physical football team on both sides of the ball. They run Peterson, they hit you with Harvin. But remember, they didn't score an offensive touchdown last week. They had a punt return and a kickoff return for a touchdown in a 20-13 win. So I like the Titans in the game. I think it's a spot for Tennessee. I think it's a kind of a letdown spot for Minnesota after those back-to-back wins with San Francisco and the Lions last week.
As always, boys, awesome information. And what the guys are telling you, it's the Zigzag NFL League. We always warn you, don't go overboard with what you witnessed last. Minnesota now is being asked to do something they're not accustomed to, and that's cover a pretty healthy number.